Okay, so we're around the side of the green now, and we're going to talk about some landing zones, because whenever I ask someone, where do you want to land this shot, they'll say, oh, about there. And it's a guess. They just estimate where they need to land it. And that doesn't transfer to different firmnesses of green or green speeds or weather conditions. So we need to work out what the club provides as in regards to how far does it roll out once it's hit the green.
Sure.
So there's no hole for this first part of this exercise. All we need is a point on the green where we're going to land it. So I've got my wedge here. Let's hit 4 shots. We'll land them all on or around that landing zone. Mm-hmm. And we'll see exactly how much rollout we get from this shot. So sort of stock sort of shot. Let's land it on it.
Let's land it on it, which could give us an artificial rollout.
Yeah, let's go again. Okay, just a little bit past it, but we're trying to be within a stride.
Yeah.
So as long as you're some on or around that spot, we're good. Okay, we'll hit 2 more. Okay, so that last one just finished a stride short. So let's go and see what it gave us. And if we come up to here now, I'm going to pace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is pretty much the average. And these have all finished within about 4 feet of each other, which is nice. So,
well, we can discard this one because it hit the disc, right?
Yeah.
So really, you're looking at those 3, and 4.5 to 5 would be your average.
Exactly. So if we're chipping to this pin now, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my landing zone for this flag. And that's going to be the same landing zone for most distances up to about 40 yards. So if we now drop one here, 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 and one further back, we've now got the landing zone for that flag.
Yes.
So let's play all of these, focusing on where we're landing it. There's no read for this at this stage.
No, this is purely about hitting your landing point and making sure the ball is reacting as the kind of test group said that it would.
Yeah. All I've got to do is to focus on landing it on that spot. I know how it's going to behave when it gets there.
That's a little too firm, but still not bad, right?
Okay. Yep. And if we go back now, it's the same thing. So I've just to land it on that disc, I've got to just lengthen my swing a little bit.
A little longer. Pretty good right there. Yeah, good shot.
Okay, a little bit of check on that one. Okay, same thing again. Lengthening it out. I'm trying to keep the same trajectory as all the other shots.
Shot. That was good right there.
Okay, and again. The key is just lengthening my swing, same landing zone.
Oh, she checked a lot.
Yep.
And then the other piece of this, of course, is we all carry a different suite of wedges. So,
yep.
If I run through this with my pitching wedge, my gap wedge, my sand wedge, my lob, depending on what I carry, well, now I'm suddenly getting the different distances that ball will travel after it hits that landing zone.
Exactly.
That really helps with shot selection on the golf course.
100%. And now you've got, let's say, 3 different lofts and wedges, and you can have a myriad of different rollouts, so you can apply them to different scenarios. So it's not always a case of taking out your most lofted.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to get it on the green as soon as possible, and sometimes it'll be lie dependent as well. But when we get up here, even though my last one checked a little bit more than we'd have liked, they're pretty much all inside 6 feet, which would be a P6. And what we know is the percentage of shots you chip inside 6 feet, you should scramble at around 10% better. So right now we're on 100% inside 6 feet, and that would suggest as long as we can make this 6-footer, we're scrambling at 100%.
Yeah, great drill, and I think it's a piece of information not a lot of players have. They kind of have I think it rolls out this amount.
Yeah.
But they haven't actually tested it and noted it and gone and sort of. And then, like, what I really like is test it independently of executing it, right? So
Yeah.
you figured it out first, then you put it into a more real life situation, so you're free to experiment with the other clubs, figure out the rollouts, and then test those rollouts with pin placements.
Yeah, and you know, if the greens are firmer or quicker, that disc would be nearer to where we're chipping from. And if the greens are getting wetter and wetter, this disc comes forward. But unless you're testing this before you play, it's just a guess.
Yeah.
So the good thing about this is we're actually working it out. We now know that we've got, with this lofted club, on a pretty flat shot, we've got 5 steps of rollout. And what was interesting is as you go further back, that doesn't change.
Yes.
So there's no 50-50 ball flight and spin. There's no kind of real equation to this. And the more loft you have, the less rollout you get.
Yep.
But what I found interesting is there's not a massive difference between that, the higher lofted and the medium lofted wedges. So it could be about a stride per club.
Yes.
So you know, having a favourite loft is a good idea, but sometimes getting that extra couple of feet closer might be just a slight change in loft.
And when you figure this stuff out, which you can then take note of, if you then are landing, say, more onto a down slope, well, you'll know to adjust your wedge to the one that rolls out less.
Exactly.
So you can control the speed of the golf ball as it hits that down slope and get some forward momentum.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Not expecting the ball to do something it can't.
Exactly.